Today I fucked up by talking to my son about Reddit. This happened last night and my son is still asleep, so the aftermath is yet to be determined. So last night I was talking about Reddit while scrolling through random posts and my son, 12 years old, asked me what my username is. I briefly explained to him the unwritten rules around not asking others for their usernames, the idea of anonymity online, etc. etc. He seemed to accept it without argument, and that was that. Fast forward to this morning. I wake up and look at my phone and there's a text from my son that he sent after I went to bed. His text was the following: "What does SB mean? That little shit Sherlock homeboy must have snooped on my phone while I was asleep, opened my Reddit app and found my username. God only knows if he stopped there or decided to look through my post/comment history." Thankfully most of my history is relatively tame, although I do moderate a small sub with some questionable content. I may have some awkward questions to answer today. Too long didn't read. My 12-year-old son snooped on my phone and found my Reddit account. Goodbye anonymity. What does SB mean though? Nice try, mister. Or grounded. Meaning of SB please: speechless face, Steve Buscemi, winking face. Steve Buscemi? Question mark. And that's when you teach your son about boundaries, about respecting others' privacy, and about invading your privacy by snooping around on your phone. And how would he feel if you went all through his shit and invaded his privacy? There's a life lesson here if you want to teach it. Also, set a damn lock code on your phone, dude. My kid is a couple months from 12. I have yet to mention, advertise or comment about anything other than Facebook, which I rarely visit. I have no plans to open that Pandora's box until he brings it. He's already watching porn, trust me. Verified, a constantly horny 13-year-old male. Today I fucked up by accidentally pulling out my IUD because I almost swallowed a cockroach. This happened a few days ago and I think I need to vent because I am still not over it. So this week I was supposed to spend some time at my boyfriend's house for the very first time and meet his entire family. The first day went very well, and on the second day we planned to drink a little bit with his siblings while gaming on their console. So I open this bottle of beer, right, and drink it as I play, not watching it the entire time since I have to look at the screen. At some point, I feel something weird in my bottle of beer, but I dismiss it, thinking it's maybe just a piece of paper from the label that fell in. Around the end of my beer though, something feels very wrong. It feels like there is some sort of deposit inside, and the beer had a very abnormal thick consistency in my mouth, similar to curdled milk. Refusing to swallow this, I decided to spit the contents of my mouth in the kitchen sink, and lo and behold, turns out the weird consistency was due to a live, moving cockroach that had crawled into my bottle of beer. Now here comes the part where I fucked up. Disgusted by the incident, I proceeded to disinfect my throat multiple times with huge shots of strong alcohol. This resulted in me getting pass-out drunk, which in turn caused me to throw up all over my boyfriend's pillows during the night. But wait, there's more. Actually happened to be in my period during thesis events. And I was so inebriated, that I decided to pull out my tampon at some point, but turns out the string I pulled were the strings of my IUD. So now I have to get a new IUD fitted. Too long didn't read. I almost swallowed a cockroach whole, which resulted in me drinking myself into oblivion to disinfect my mouth, and I pulled my IUD out instead of my tampon because I was so drunk. I would have ran away screaming from there. Forget staying in a home where the cockroaches are brave enough to get in your drink. I would have been awake all night in case they wanted to avenge their fallen brethren. Besides, Motel 6 leaves the light on for me! Exclamation mark. Well, since I kinda passed out from the strong alcohol, I don't remember much of what happened and wasn't in a state of running away, but I have a clear flashback of holding my bloody IUD in my hands, so this must have shocked me even in my blackout state. But yeah, I'm kinda worried about going back, and it's sort of awkward now with his family skeptical. That was a wild read start to finish. Fucking A. I'm still not over it a couple of days later. My boyfriend says I'm overreacting for the cockroach thing, but to be fair, I had only seen 2 in my entire life prior to this. I find them terrifying and would have appreciated a heads up or something before going over there. Your boyfriend is either embarrassed or he doesn't realize how abnormal it is to have such frequent cockroaches that a roach in a mouth is NBD to him. Did the house seem clean? Was it an apartment? Apparently they hadn't seen any for a while, so he thought it would be fine not to tell me anything beforehand because he thought the infestation was over. The house was clean, but we were in the basement and there is a storage room in the basement that is dark, slightly damp and has many boxes, so I imagine they must be living around that area. When I googled about cockroaches, I learned that apparently they love beer, so that obviously didn't help. I think I'll drink from transparent glasses for a while. Holy crap. Did you check your clothes before returning home? I was installing cable in a house that had a cockroach infestation, and before I got into my van, I stripped down to my boxers and found 2 cockroaches hiding in my clothes. The cable box was also infested. Luckily had the box in a Ziploc bag. When I got back to it, I had a bunch come out of the box. Quadruple bagged it, then take the shit out of it. OMG. No, I didn't, but I am getting paranoid now and am checking my bag all over. Distressed face. I would take any bag that I brought from their house outside ASAP. Those things spread like crazy. People can get them at hotels and bring them home, and before you know it your whole house is infested. And I don't think you're overreacting at all. Those things are nasty. I did that yesterday when I read this advice from many commenters. I'll do a thorough check today. Today I fucked up by diving to catch the ball in a dream. This actually happened yesterday morning. So Sunday morning around 5 AM, I'm asleep in bed. 48 years old here, so not exactly a young pup anymore. I'm having this amazingly intense dream that has dozens upon dozens of people participating in a multiple team event outdoors. In the dream, we're all sitting in a large amphitheater holding several hundred people with a massive swimming pool at the bottom of the amphitheater. What can I say? Dreams are weird, right? So in the dream, the process of deciding what order each team is going to do the events is determined by a contest. Each team sends a dozen or 2 people in or near the massive swimming pool. A volleyball is then shot out of a bazooka-type tube 100 or so feet into the air, and the person who is the first one to catch the volleyball is the team who determines the order of events. So basically, a giant cluster of people diving and fighting in a pool to catch a volleyball, first going 100 feet or so into the air. I decided to play it a bit safe and stay near the edge of the pool on the steps. I saw and heard the launch of the volleyball, and that spinning orb came flying down and landed with a splash less than 5 feet away from me. My mind's eye can still, nearly 36 hours later, picture that volleyball spinning on top of the water of the pool and dozens of people rushing in a torrent to reach it. But I would not be denied. I dove for the volleyball from the steps of the pool, a mere 5 feet away and the closest one to it. I had it in my grasp. That's when it happened. I certainly didn't expect it at all, but I dove out of bed, crashing against the bedroom wall 3 feet away and on the carpet. My left shoulder had slammed into the wall. My chin hit my nightstand as I dove off. My wife rushed over, awoken in shock at 5 AM by me literally diving out of the side of the bed. I was still half asleep, according to her, muttering incomprehensible things and holding my hands as if I'm holding something. A volleyball, to be exact. It took me a few moments to fully wake up. I was still laying with my shoulder against the wall in this awkwardly odd position, and she was trying to turn me over and help me up. But I couldn't really move much. My shoulder was pretty jacked up and I felt disoriented. A few moments went by and she got me up, sitting down on the side of the bed. 36 hours later, my left shoulder feels like I got run over by Terry Tate. I can barely lift it over my head. My chin and jaw are both sore, and for some reason my lower back right side has developed a huge bruise. Downside is, I never got to see if my team won or not. Too long didn't read. 48-year-old man leaps out of bed in a dream and jacks his shoulder up. Okay, Al Bundy. Reliving those Polk High days. Damn. Ever knew dreams could make you move, Earl? Too bad it had to happen like this. I mean, I've had dreams where I've been startled awake before and I kind of jump, but this was a first for me where I actually moved. Now I'm paying the price, haha. I've had stuff like this happen to me multiple times. Any time I tried to do a flip in my dream and ended launching out of bed, and another time I slept on the couch and had a similar thing happen where I jumped in my dream and I ended up smashing onto a table in front of it. If you dive in the Matrix, you dive in real life. This sounds so awful, but the thought of some dude sleeping and then randomly eating himself off the bed while asleep is kinda funny.